So hello and welcome back to Scriptcase by Jamie, and I guess I want to start off by apologizing that I missed Friday. I actually thought today was Friday, so yes, I missed yesterday's macro. Bit sucky, not very happy with that, but I've advanced. LanMan is dead. Long live LanRaider. So yes, you heard that right. I kind of got too busy with the old LanMan / new LanRaider platform, and it has evolved into something else. So I've been taking on my friend's words, saying that maybe I should sell this because yes, I've been building in a lot of new features, some awesome functionalities. I'm going to show you some of them today. Maybe you're going to be interested in this, maybe not. And if you are, just send me a mail. Let me know that you're interested. Maybe, you know, I could always do it with an investor. That'd be nice. That would be nice. Anyway, so this is what we have so far. On our dashboard, you see we have system halted, no topologies detected. So you can kind of guess it. I added networks. I added VLANs. I added sentries. Yes, not sentries as in time, but sentries as in nodes. I'm going to show you. Yes, I'm going to show you that. And Robo is fully working, which is what made me actually think about this. And since then, I've added the sentries and I've added a few other features, which has really blown this up to, yeah, a real production-worthy, sellable platform, I think. Let me show you what it's got. So I'm going to log in and just switch over to the live interface. So you're going to notice a few panels, extra panels first of all. So I have connected this to a few extra services. So first of all, we have here a new OPNsense panel. So that actually connects to my OPN server and lists all my services running here, as well as then the traffic and so forth. Now for some reason, the CPU and memory is not being received, or the temperature. That's something I've been struggling with. We also have Nagios, a Nagios integration, so it integrates with Nagios now. Now, the nice thing actually here with the OPNsense, once you come to the panel, because yes, that has a dedicated panel, you can actually synchronize your assets from your OPNsense firewall to your platform, which is pretty awesome. I thought that was quite nice and nice feature to add in there. And as I was saying, Robo, wow, little Robo here on the side panel, well, this baby's fully ready. And so is, of course, the Robo terminal. So I'm going to show you quick. Now, you have three options here. You can analyze the dashboard vision, and that actually will close this side panel, take a screenshot, and then present that data to AI or LLMs. And it's going to give you a full analysis as well as a PDF report. Now, I'm going to show you that. I'm not going to show you it here. I'll show you it on another panel where it's a little more interesting. You also then have the option to analyze the network data. And that then grabs all the data from this panel and passes it to the LLM. Or just the system logs. So it's just going to grab the system logs and analyze your system logs. It's an awesome functionality. I love this feature. Now, the vision version, as in the images, the screenshot, that only works with Gemini, ChatGPT, and so forth. Otherwise, this will fully work with a local Ollama, which is what I've been using it with, which is pretty awesome. Gemini's nice, but I've been preferring the local version of that so that I can just, you know, get the data I need for my platform, not for anything else, not share that with anyone, which I think would be an interesting thing. Now, you may notice a few extras here, so like pinned notes and all sorts of other things. You have an editor in here and lots of other features that I've added in here, as well as a literally, yeah, this checks your internal speed between your browser and the host of the platform, which is pretty awesome. So you have a few different measurements for speed on your network, analysis for your devices, and so much more. So I'm going to come here to the core. Now the core is now the new home for everything. So this is actually the Berlin branch. Now it is full of demo data right now. So a lot of the tools, well, it's just going to show nothing. They all work, everything's working. There's, I think, maybe just a couple buttons that I need to add new functionality to that I was thinking of, but that's coming. So here, first of all, I can jump up the layer and I can hide all my VLANs. And that way I just have here all of my home networks, all of my networks that I have connected and I am monitoring within my network here. I can add then the VLANs on there as I like. I can hover over that and it's going to provide me some data. I can click it and then I'm going to have then the entire network that I have there. And of course change the network as I like up here in the top. And then that's just going to go ahead and reorganize my entire infrastructure. And you see the connections that are on there. And yes, the SNMP works. It will connect your switch basically. And there's some extra features or functionalities I'm going to add for that. And it will actually synchronize your ports and do all the connections for you, which is pretty hardcore. So yeah, I can just switch through any type of data center or any network that I have here. And it's just going to update the network. I can click through and the asset data will update for me. If I have logs for this asset, it will display the asset logs here also. Otherwise, you have all the functions here that are already there, but some of those are going to change because yeah, you're going to see why. Anyway, you have a nice panel down here that gives you a full-blown overview of all your networks. So you have all your network data down here, averages and everything, which is quite sweet. You also then have a map view, so you can view your maps around the world. And again here you have a whole new panel that then displays everything from that network within this panel for you, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, really awesome. I've been loving this. So I actually finished the platform. There's about 2 weeks ago now, and since then I've actually added a couple extra features. One of them I haven't finished, which has been really not working for me. It's been kind of frustrating, which is the Pi-hole interface. I'm not getting it connected to my Pi for some reason. Now we have also, but we'll get there as well. We have here then also the Sentry map. Okay, so this is sentries that you can deploy. Yes, this is what I've been working on for the last 2 weeks, this specific functionality. So I've actually been adding or creating not only in ScriptCase, and I got to say, oh my God, ScriptCase, oh my God, you have been a beauty in this project. Now, typically, when I've worked on some ScriptCase projects over the years, there's always been some form I have to recreate because it bugs out. This has been the most fluid ScriptCase experience building this platform in my entire life since I started using ScriptCase eons ago. So well done, ScriptCase guys, and they make this really awesome. The platform is so stable. It is so bloody good right now. It is really awesome to actually create systems like this, or any system you can think of within the platform. So yes, I've really enjoyed creating this in ScriptCase, but then I kind of moved away from ScriptCase because I have some setup files. So there's a setup file, for instance, as well as yes, Visual Studio. I have Visual Studio going there too. And there I've actually been creating Sentry nodes that you can install onto, well, pretty much any machine you want in a variety of ways. So we're going to come into that as well. But yes, that makes this very powerful. And these sentries, well, they are pretty awesome in the sense that, well, you can deploy them and it then updates your portal with all the data from that machine. Pretty much everything you can capture on the Microsoft level, basically, right? So, which is quite nice. And then, of course, here you have the GPS coordinates added by choice, so you can choose to do that, or you can deploy them entirely silently, like complete ninjas, and the user will never even know it's there. And yeah, that's what I've been building into this lately. So you still have the analysis, nothing has changed here. And of course, Robo is in here working very nicely. You have the Robo terminal as well. Now here you're going to see that I have already been chatting here. I have here all my stored chats. So I can click any of these. It's going to open them back up again and present them to me. I have everything else in here working beautifully. It talks. Yeah, you have your full-blown conversation, whether that be with Gemini or with your local Ollama. So you see here, I have my local Ollama running. And I am using the free 4B model for that. And it's been working beautifully, running here on my local machine while Scriptcase is running on my development server, or development PC, whatever you want to call it. So you have this here, you have an image gallery for files you've uploaded. And yeah, so that's pretty much there. You can use this beautifully and, you know, chat with your Gemini or whatever. You still have the network map, it's just moved now because of course you have now the core model, and depending on the version of this that you decide to download, if you want to have this, because it will be available to buy over on the website once it's up. Like I bought the domain already, and thankfully the name was available because I went through a whole host of names trying to find a name that was available, and then the new name, well, it's available. So I bought it already, and I now just need to get it set up. But I'm finishing off the sentries first. Now, because there, of course, now you're going to notice also here I've added some extra features left, right, and center, depending also on your screen size. So if you have a small screen, you won't see that ping window there right now. That won't be displayed no more. You have your VLANs and your VLAN mapper here too. So you can manage your VLANs, as well as then sentries, where you have then, which I'm still working on, so that's looking ugly right now. That hasn't actually done anything right now. So there's your VLANs, you have your VLAN mapper, and you have like a 3D view, which is actually working today, beautiful. And here you can actually zoom in on elements and get specific data. So you have two different views there for your VLANs, which I thought was really nice. I really actually loved that 3D view. I thought this was really cool. And then you have some telemetry data and everything here too. So you can just zoom in on your nodes and, you know, access them as you need to, and it's going to then update the data for you. And yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I love it. You have a list of all your VLANs, of course. You have assets, which is no difference from before. Now, I have added actually a hardware inspector here. Now, this is specifically targeted towards routers, firewalls, switches. Okay, as you can see, you have here all of the ports that are displayed that are available on that asset. So I have here my location or the networks that I have available. And then if there are switches or routers available, then you'll be able to access them here. And it's going to display here the port status and so forth. So let me find one here which actually has some ports displayed. Paris. Yeah, but the ports update anyway. So if you have assets connected to the switch, you have them displayed below this. Just there were some which actually had some data there. It's fine. You see, I had a ton of data. There we go. There we have one. Look. So this has 48 ports on this switch, and all of these ports here, these are all like unidentified. And you see, you have some extra options up here. You can ping the chassis. You can open the admin panel. You can enable the wake on LAN, as well as trying to reboot the device. You have then here all of your assets that are actually connected to those ports. And as it says, all of those are unauthorized, otherwise it'd be connected. And this, of course, then updates according to the data within the database, which is then also updated by your devices and scans. So that's a pretty awesome, nice new feature I added in there. Like I said here, the deployment, now you have the option here to deploy your node. Now, this is your Sentry, should I say. So from here, you have an MSI config, which is all prepared. You have a PS1 script, which is also all prepared, the Linux SSH, as well as the Win WMI. You add all your details in here, you choose a network, and it will load that data for you. Otherwise, you can choose the database that it connects to. So ideally, as a large company, of course, you're going to have your own database. And then LanRaider will, of course, use that database. And then all your nodes, your sentries, will also update that database. So that's fully configurable here within the panel, as well as within the setup of the Sentry. So I actually have one running here now. So here I can right click on this one, and you can see here, for instance, I don't have the Sentry running, I just have the taskbar because that's what I was creating right now. We have then the option here to perform a status uplink check. So the Sentry is actually checking the UI, it will tell you it's connected. Your mode is on full capture mode, so you have multiple modes, whether you just capture the host system data or telemetry data from around that device, that Sentry. You can force a sync, which then dumps the entire data from the Sentry over into your LanRaider database. You can view the local health. There you go. There it opens up the local health, and you have all the drives here, as well as the usage and uptime of the device. What else we could do here? We have some advanced tools to view the local agent logs, so that you'll be able to view the logs from the agent. Restart the service, as well as change the mode of the Sentry. So you have two different modes. You have here the Sentry mode, as well as the Raider mode. Now Sentry is visible, and the Raider is not visible. It's completely hidden, runs in the background. You don't even know it's there, and it just captures everything and reports then to your database. Now, of course, there is licensing all built into that already, so it will then verify everything with the store, make sure you're allowed to have X amount of nodes, as well as then the product that you have. Now, you have here the node types, so like I say, you can change from full, network only, or local host. You have a master key that you need to have defined within the tables already, which is there. Now you have help information for pretty much everything, everywhere. So I have continued with that beautifully, so that you have all of that data there. Now, like I said, these apps, they're just in the build process still, no change. Now the discovery, this has of course been adjusted for networks like every other application that was there. They've all been adjusted for networks, and now I can choose the network that I'm actually wanting, that I'm on right now, and then I can scan that network. So I can have this platform installed on a laptop and then go around and do analysis in that network and just discover everything via this specific script. So there are multiple ways of scanning the network now, many ways. You have the Python scripts, which are automated, the cron jobs, which are automated. You have this built-in discovery, which runs as well. And then you also have the Sentry nodes, which then provide you extra data. So it's kind of gone crazy. So there you have then also the OPNsense panel. So yes, like I said, I added an entire panel for OPNsense. And I just remembered, actually, I think I said it was the last video I was going to do on LanMan, but yeah, remember, LanMan is dead. Now we're talking about LanRaider, and it will just be this one video on this, I think, because yes, I have, I want to get cracking back on with the other topics I had there within ScriptCase. So I'm just going to set this up, get it all ready, deploy it, and well, then for a month, I guess, leave it as it is, get some feedback, and then maybe apply some updates. So it gives me a month then to actually create a whole load of new content for the channel. So yes, as I was saying before, you have here the AI panel. So from here, for instance, I have some extras here. As you can see, I can grab all the OPNsense data that we're able to capture and analyze it, or just here the firewall logs. So I take here the firewall logs, for instance, is now captured here, the last 100 logs. And it's then going to present that now to my local Ollama or your AI or LLM, whatever that is. And then it will provide an output here, as well as a PDF document explaining everything. So you have a full analysis of what is happening on your network built in to the platform right from the get-go, which is pretty awesome. Of course, I think Robo will be a separate feature, or separate platform even. So that's kind of what I've suggested. So there will be a free version. I will be releasing a free version, but it will be also not having a lot of these features that you have right now. For instance, the Intel might not be there. You're not going to have the networks. Yeah, so multiple networks won't be available. It'll just be the single one network. Robo, and definitely not the Sentries, because that is because that's pretty dangerous. That's actually enterprise level, I think, or large company level. So that's something you're interested in. Just let me know, because the Sentry is actually turning out to be pretty nice. Of course, I'm still running tests and everything, but so far I am very excited. So I do have extra details here depending on what information you're getting here on your OPNsense panel. And as I said here, the RAM and the CPU load, the uptime, and the temperatures data I'm not able to get for some reason. I've been trying various ways, but it's just not. So maybe I'll give that another go in another time, but for now, this is a pretty much complete application. And yes, this should be replying any moment now. I hear my fans going away, so of course Ollama here is probably busy doing its business. And of course, if you use Gemini or ChatGPT, you'll more than likely have a much faster response than what I'm having now here with my local Ollama. But of course, remember, this is your network, right? You don't want to share everything with your network with Gemini. I don't think you do. I don't think so. Anyway, that's of course down to you, your choice. It's built into the platform. You can choose if you want to use Gemini, ChatGPT, or your local Ollama. It's a pretty awesome feature. Okay, so that's taking its time here, isn't it? But I still hear the fans going. It's still waiting for a response. So analysis complete. Oh, the execution failed. It's probably because I had it running all night. So let me actually close that. Let me close that. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to open it up again. All right, okay. Now, if I go, hello, we have the local Ollama. Okay, so she's replying. So then let's try and do this firewall logs again. It's going, right? It's taking the time. I think last time I actually had to restart the computer, but hopefully not. It's really taking its time now. Oh, there we go. All right, so let me send in here the firewall logs. And let's see if we now get a reply. So you actually saw there, tried to save a file there, which was then the PDF report. Of course, now when it didn't succeed, of course, you're going to have no data there. So, yes. So this is taking a little longer than usual. It's probably because I'm recording in 4K again as well. That's probably what it is. It's just I'm literally sucking my computer dry. I have two browsers open with I don't know how many hundreds of tabs. So yeah, it's not normally taking that long, but I'm guessing it's because I'm having Camtasia open and recording at the same time, which is then of course well, adding a lot more work onto my PC. Now, without the camera running, this is much faster. I think it took around 30 seconds for a reply, typically, during my tests, which was a pretty awesome, yeah, pretty nice feature, I thought, mate. It was working beautifully. Let's hopefully it comes back with a reply still. Okay, so I just had to restart it again, basically, because I think the Ollama actually left two executables still running in the background. And they didn't close, so I force closed everything now and actually just re-requested the firewall traffic again. Let's see. That should be coming back now, hopefully with some data, and Camtasia is not sucking my PC dry. With, of course, Ollama running, as well as Visual Studio and everything else I have going at the moment still. Okay, so hopefully that comes back now with some analysis for us on our firewall traffic, which is what I've actually sent it. And we'll see here, there's been no updates yet. It's actually still buffering. So I'm guessing I maybe sent that a little early. We're going to find out in a minute. And there you go. We have our network asset analysis, our raw data summary here displayed. Now I did change it from the firewall logs to analyze the network data, and that has now gone and analyzed that data. And I also have a PDF file that was just downloaded. So let me open that, and you can check that out too. There is then the PDF that gives you well, analysis of your network, which is pretty awesome, right? So with that, you have the full AI working. It's really, really cool. I love it. I actually really, really do love it. Anyway, so we move on then to the Pi-hole interface, which is actually the last interface I added, which is not getting connected for some reason. I'm definitely getting very frustrated with this one. And yeah, if the AI hasn't finished, then it does revert back to the previous page before it allows you to switch. So that is one minor bug there because of data flow. There's not much I can do about that one. The reason Pi-hole isn't running. Okay, so then we have also the CAM monitor, the Net Vision, Node Registry, Nagios panel is also there, the Node Orchestrator. I've also then included a Home Assistant panel, yes, a Proxmox panel, which I'm sorry, I am unable to test this one. I do not have a Proxmox set up, which would be nice to actually see if this connects beautifully. So any of you out there with Proxmox, give it a go. Let me know. It'd be awesome. You have your Home Assistant, so you can have access to all your devices here, some energy and everything else that you can get pretty much from Home Assistant. And yes, this is actually live updates that you have in here, which is really, really cool. Of course, all of that can then be added within your options. And a lot of these other features were still there. I think they're there previously. You have your document matrix. You have now also an intelligence center where you can add all your documents and notes and everything. It has backup of notes and stuff. Tags, you can tag your notes. You can tag your nodes now as well. So you can tag actually your assets as well. So instead of having a PC displayed on those maps, you can have a star or something. So you know, oh, it's a certain machine. I did add a few extra options here in the tools. We have here, for instance, the new MySQL DB editor. This is basically a replacement for PHPMyAdmin built into the platform. So yes, that's there too, as well as a few other extra security tools here for latency tests, local tests. There's some extra logging information here. And of course, again, you have the AI built into this. You have the log scanner. So here I can say, search for any device, and I get all of the data associated with that asset then here too. So there's a few different ways I've actually added in here for you to do certain things. Another thing I actually added, which I thought was quite nice, let me find it, because as you see, there's a lot of tools in here now. So you have recon nodes, node DNS propagator, uplink. You have your uplink, which is a new search. So yes, this has basically a Google search built in now. It's not using Google, it uses either the Brave API, so you can add your Brave API in there, or the ZeroX API, which is free, as well as Tor. So yes, it does connect to dark web as well. And you can then search from, you choose your search engine up here, and off you go, you just search, and it's going to give you a nice view of everything that you have basically searched for. So you have all the tools that basically that you would ever need on a network, all built in. Now you have there the orchestrator. Now the orchestrator for the cron jobs has kind of changed, because the orchestrator doesn't actually work via cron because of the orchestration. So the cron jobs are going to have to be separate, individual. So there's going to be a few 3 or 5 cron jobs separately running, and then you can actually run all of them here via the panel using here the orchestrator. So if you continue with this, you'll be locked in this page for a little while, and it's going to do the same thing as your other scanner, you know. So you have, like I said, an alternative way of scanning the network. They all do it differently. You have a few games that I built in here as well. You have checkers, you have Tetris, you have Pong. Yeah, you see the ball there going at the top. You have Pong in here too. I added Hangman, which I thought I really liked Hangman. So you have Hangman in here, and of course you have lots of words from Scriptcase and other elements in here too. And you can, of course, well, have a little play while you're, meant to be managing the network. You have memory game as well to help you with your memory, because we all, forget things. And of course that you can change as well to different levels, 4x6, 4x4, 6x6, or 8x8. Depending on how you want to play. So here I can go, let me actually reload it here. So if I remember here, and then there I have the 4x4, and then that's what we have then. See, otherwise of course we can adjust that. So the better you get, you can increase your game level basically. So within the portal options, I actually added here a health check with a system health check. So it checks that you have everything running, all the scripts, and you can do tests from here as well, which is pretty awesome. There's also a system update panel. So yes, updates we pushed via the store, and they're just going to end up being updated here within your platform. Now I did add the node deployment here, but then I actually moved that here to alternative panel. So I will be removing that one. And then from here, basically, I can just deploy the nodes as I want to. The sentries basically. So I have here the MSI config. I can set it all up, launch it however I like via SSH, and then start receiving telemetry from that machine, which is pretty awesome. You have your OPNsense sync here, so you can sync actually all your assets with the OPNsense server or firewall, and then that will synchronize all your assets too. You have your portal news there. You have all the Robo LLM features here and settings that you can apply. Your history of chat messages and files, it's all in there too. And of course the portal options has been expanded to allow for all of these extra options. So as you see, there has been a ton of work added into this. There are a couple features I am still needing to add into one or two of the interfaces, and that is exactly the control of devices and mainly the sentries, because that's going to be a very big factor of this, being able to deploy a little XC like I have here. So I have this running here, and then of course having that running somewhere. Now, you do see here Open Master Portal, so this is actually a different tray XE file that I have there that I created specifically for deployment with the platform. So that maybe I was thinking that package the platform with one Sentry node, it monitors then the host system automatically straight away within the platform. Now I've packaged the whole lot, it's all ready to go, especially the platform itself, right? So I just remove the pie hole, add one or two of the links, and then it's down to hopefully somebody who's interested in actually having a fully functional version of this. Now you can have this in multiple ways. Either you set it up with an exe file, it will just deploy the entire project to your C drive, and everything's included with that, as well as a few extra tools that I will be including into this as the platform evolves, namely Hashcat, Netcat, and Wireshark and stuff like that, because I can actually build some of those functionalities directly into the platform, and then you can actually get that data that you're actually wanting straight away from a device, or do that monitoring that you're wanting to do, or that hacking, cracking, testing, not hacking, cracking, but actually testing your infrastructure. Not only on the ports, which you can already do, you can scan ports and make sure there's no certain ports open, but now with the Sentry, basically it's going to tell you somebody's plugged in a USB pen and stuff like that as well, which then, turns this into, something completely different, doesn't it? So the network drop down here does switch everywhere, so, changes in the view that you're actually viewing, updates the logs and so forth. The logins here, I left them as they are. And I think the notes, they are as well, but everything else updates, as well as the logging. So ideally, like here, switching the network, you only use that network that you're on, otherwise it starts logging for that network too. But yeah, that's something to maybe think of when you think about using this. If you're going to use this, are you going to use this? I'd like to know anyway. If you have any thoughts about this, if you're liking this, if you like to beta test for me, that'd be awesome. Of course, if you beta test, I'd be happy to give you a license for free. Maybe the basic license, mind. Of course, yeah, no sentries, no robo. And of course, the robo, I still need to build into some more of the interfaces, but it is there. We didn't actually check out the actual robo terminal. Let's see if we can say hello to our little robo friend here, and we can see that actually working too, because I didn't actually show you that, did I? Now you have the option here to actually have a custom alert sound. You can change the output, being technical, lessons, planning, sarcasm, training. So I added a few options in there. So it's going to adjust how it presents you the data. So if you want step by step, you'll have step by step. You'll have the length of it as well, short, medium, long. And then of course up here, depending on the models you have available, you can switch them around and then use that new model. And as you see, I just spoke there, and it automatically updates here in my chat box. And it'll keep updating that chat. Unless I click up here memory active, and then it'll stop logging those conversations for me as well, which is really cool. Now the right hand panel here, this is actually your questions. Okay, so something I've always found using any of the LLMs is that you need to scroll until you find your question that you asked 5-6 hours or days ago, and you're scrolling through hundreds of lines. Well, now I don't need to. I could just search for the last question I had, or click the last question, and it's going to take me to it, and that way I'm going to have the data that exactly I wanted from that specific question 5 days ago, or whenever it was, which is pretty awesome. So there's a few features that I've added in here which kind of made sense to me, as well as the functionalities. And like I said, the platform itself is, it's a few little bugs maybe. Hopefully I get those from the testers or from people that are actually going to start using this, as well as then of course, further updates in the future with some of the panels, maybe add a few extra panels in there for other services, assets, devices, and so forth. So I have been looking at integrating so many different things, as well as having multiple ways of backup. If that doesn't work, then we try this. If that doesn't work, then we try this. So for instance, trying to shut down a PC is going to try 3 different ways of shutting that computer down so that it succeeds, basically. Stuff like that, you know. So fallback on fallback, and then everything else. Now, as I said, it's ready to go. It's full package as well, so you don't need to install nothing. You don't need to set up, well, you install the LanRaider setup, right? But you don't need to install a server. You don't need to set up a database. It's all locked down and all packaged, ready for you to use. It will start scanning data for you on your network, choosing either the Python method or the cron method. That's your choice during installation, as well as then the installation of the Sentry, which maybe I'll add that. I don't know how I'm still packaging things. But as you can see, I think maybe this has a bit of a way to go. And as I said, if you're interested in this in any shape or form, whether that be having a copy, learning more about it, maybe investing something, that would be cool, because I could definitely use. But yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm sorry it's not going to be available no more for anyone. The LanMan original version is still available on the Git page. It's all still there. You can still download it. So if you wanted to download that and use that, you can do. But as soon as I launch this, I will be removing it, just so you know. So then it will no longer be available, and it will be go see LanRaider, which will be this specific platform. And as you see, everything in this is working now. Yeah, everything in this is working. There may be 1 or 2 links that I've added in there that, you know, they're not working. It's purposely because I'm still adding a few functionalities in there for the Sentry. I'm wanting to add a suricata and some extra functionalities for that, as well as, yeah, some of the other packages I mentioned. So there is still more to be added in here, but some of that I think is going to come later down the line as well, because I need to get really concentrated back on, of course, ScriptcaseByJamie. Have some decent content on Scriptcase for you guys, not just showing you a platform I created, even though, of course, I created in Scriptcase. And yes, like I said, oh my God, this has been a beauty to build. I've thoroughly enjoyed creating this platform in Scriptcase like never before, which is pretty crazy, you know, because, yeah, no bugs, no issues, everything's gone beautifully, everything's been created beautifully. And it's not just blank applications with some of these interfaces. There are a ton of forms, there are a ton of grids, there are a lot of different views, like you've seen here. I think we're at 217 applications now or something like that. And there are extra functionalities in the back end that you don't really see until you click on something. But yeah. So yeah, I do apologize for yesterday's macro video. I'm going to make sure I record a whole bunch of them Monday straight away, and have a couple months of those up and ready to go. As I did before, I just kind of got tied up with a few government things I had to deal with, which was a nightmare. It was a few weeks of running around, and of course, trying to enjoy a little bit of the place of where I live now, which, yeah, this hasn't been making me enjoy anything other than building the platform, because that's all I've been doing. When my head's dived in, up at 6, 7 in the morning and straight away, non-stop till 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that's what it's been for the last few months, the last couple of months on this. So I'm glad it's finished, and I'm literally just in the last stages now. The packaging of this is done. I'm just finalizing the Sentry, and then I'm actually going to create then a few different versions of this, so that maybe I can have a free version, a Robo version, and then yes, the enterprise version, which will then include the Sentry deployment and everything, which is, yeah, pretty hardcore. Anyway, I hope you like this video, and of course I'm looking forward to creating some alternative content, because yes, it's been a few different videos on this one now. Kind of took my mind away, but I tell you what, one of the reasons why I created this, one, because networking is my background, right? That's well, I say my background is one of the first jobs I had in IT, basically, was networking support, and then networking on infrastructure, and then the training and everything else. You know, originally I'd say it's code, and funny enough, I've done a complete 360 because I've gone back to C, which is where I started when I was probably, what, 7 or 8. Yes, I spent a few 3-4 years when I was a kid learning to code, created city games, and here I am again yeah, 30 years, nearly 40 years later. Yeah, 40 years later. Oh my God, that old already. But yeah, so it has been a nice experience, actually. The whole 360 of the whole thing. One, creating the platform in Scriptcase, perfect, no issues. But then also returning basically back to the core of everything I've ever known in twofold: networking as well as coding some elements in C for the platform. And that is, of course, the setups, the executables, the Sentry that is installed, the little task menu icons and so forth. So anyway, like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you look forward to the release of LanRaider. And like I said, if you're interested in beta testing, investing, whatever it is, just curious, hit me up, send me a mail, and I'll be happy to have a little discussion. We can have a chat. Why not? Let's talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Yes, there will be a Macro Friday next week, as well as an extra video for you on Wednesday. So thanks for watching, and until the next video.